more likely than not, you are the one who's betraying yourself again and again and again. And you think that it's something outside of you, it's the market, whoever, enemies who are taking what's yours, but you keep letting yourself down again and again and again. And what I've noticed with a lot of people is that they are able to stay disciplined for so and so long, but then eventually they lose it. And in a lot of cases, it is a lot of factors that line up before they eventually break. Let's say you stay disciplined for 3 weeks straight, you're doing everything correct, and you're making profits in the market. But then tension builds up in your private life, the weather is bad several days in a row, you don't get any setups, and you feel like this is too much, and it's just a small trade, it's just a small position trying to just get something out of the market. And it always starts this way and it ends in blowing the whole account. And this is where most people betray themselves. So why does this keep happening? Not because people are bad or people like try to betray themselves, it's because they're weak, and that's what the market shows them. We have dry periods in the market, we have drawdown periods. Your strategy isn't going to work forever. But somehow people can't accept this fact or handle it. And the market, like a lot of times when you look back at the market, those times you got stopped out, those times you lost a lot, the market didn't even move that much. It didn't even take your money, like you did that yourself. A lot of times the market didn't stop you out a lot of times or move a lot, it just consolidated. The market hasn't even had the opportunity to do anything against you. You did that against yourself. Think about consolidations, when the market consolidates for a long time and people try again and again to find something, some setup that's not there, and they just lose even though the market was just consolidating. Like, you can't even blame the market at that point. It's about taking personal accountability. But weak people are always going to crack under pressure. It's just a matter of pressure, and that's what is going to happen again and again and again. And instead of looking at that as something bad, think about it this way. The universe will never give you something that you're not ready for, because it will go catastrophical. So if you blew the account, or if you're in drawdown or whatever, then you have to ask yourself, what would have happened if I made profit from doing this mistake and I didn't learn anything from it? Because your brain and you learn based on what's happening, the feedback you get from the environment. So if you do something that probably isn't the best way to do it, or that you shouldn't be doing, but you get a positive feedback and you don't get any sort of consequences, then you're rewiring your brain to keep doing that and to actually think that that's the right way to do it, and just say, look at the result. But what ends up happening is you build up your ego more and more and more without any foundation, without any real understanding, and then the downfall and the consequences will be catastrophical. Instead of getting humbled quick and realizing that I should probably not have traded that session, or I should probably not take that trade, and just chill. Because when you actually accept this fact, then everything in your life becomes so much simpler. And you have to find a strategy that works for you. And you have to love the process of going in, backtesting, learning, developing. And trading in itself, obviously you have periods when you don't trade at all, and those periods you shouldn't care about what the market is doing live. You should care more about learning to trade, watching tutorials, watching YouTube videos, backtesting for yourself, and not just going in there live, because that's just 5% of the time you spend in trading, and the other 95% is just learning, backtesting, watching tutorials. If you're interested in my strategy, how I view the market, there's a Discord link in the bio, and I give you live market analysis every single day. I tell you which days are high probability, which days are low probability, and where I think the market is headed, the different sessions. So what I would suggest is that you simply accept that if you make a mistake in the markets and it's due to impatience or over trading, then I don't want you to try to avoid the consequences. I want you to think, okay, I made this mistake. Instead of being harsh on yourself, you just have to say to yourself, okay, in order to avoid this happening again, I need to actually continue trading properly on this account that's largely in drawdown. And I need to prove to myself that if I am in large drawdown, I'm not going to let that affect my trading. I'm just going to continue trading as usual. Because no matter how you look at it, trading is going to take a lot of time. A long time for you to achieve that stage where everyone wants to get, where you make like insane amounts every single month. This is a long journey, and if you try to rush it, it won't work, because I can't count how many times a strategy or a setup that I was using for a longer period of time didn't work anymore. And that's when people get this sense of they can't accept that things don't go out like after plan. Trading, the trading market, forex market, future markets, is a perfect example of things never go after plan. Like your plan, like things never go out like the way you planned it in trading. And if you want a business or something that goes more out of plan, then you need to focus on something else where you could probably make, I'm not sure how much, but whatever you need to make every single month to live comfortably, then I would suggest you do that as well. But trading in itself, like, you can't have any expectations. Some month you may make 30k, 50k, whatever, and the next month you may not make anything. You can have really good periods, and you can have periods of drawdown, and you can have break-even periods, but you just have to accept that you can't come in with any expectations in the market, because expectations are what kills you. Like, if you just focus on learning and you never care about the profits, all of that stuff, you will get in sync with the market, and you will quickly realize, okay, the market conditions are changing in this pair. How can I adapt quickly? Like, and you do that by not having a lot of risk, not like risking your whole account, risking your biggest account. You just adapt by taking it more slow with the risk, with the account size, all of that stuff, so that you don't stress that much about it. And that's when you actually are able to adapt quickly and all of that stuff, because a lot of people don't understand that the market conditions will always change, and they do this on purpose, because a lot of people backtest a strategy and it works really well, but then it stops working, and they don't understand that this strategy is not working anymore, and they're not able to adapt. That's why always, let's say you have 500k accounts funded, you can't trade on all 5 of them at once, because you're eventually going to blow them up. That's just a matter of time. Not because you're not a good trader, but simply because that's a part of the game. But if you just trade on one of them, and let's say you have a really bad period, your strategy doesn't work that well, you need to adapt, all of that stuff, then you may go into large drawdown or even blow that account, but you have 4 more, and you're doing challenges as well, so you don't care. You just look at that as it's just a matter of probability. It's just about probability. You may blow that 100k funded account, you have 4 other 100k funded accounts ready to go, and you're doing some challenge as well. So eventually you start to understand that conditions are changing, you need to adjust, adapt, and then you go into the next 100k funded account and you make profits there. It's just about probability. You can't take this stuff personally. You just have to understand that in a lot of cases, you could even go break even, because the market moves a lot in your direction, and then it pulls back, and you just get this feeling of this is probably not going to work, and you just go break even. And the main goal then is to protect your capital and stay in the game long enough. You will have periods of time where the only way to survive is to protect your capital because conditions are bad, your strategy doesn't work that well. But if you just, like, I've backtested like a whole month where I see that if I just protect my capital, then nothing bad is going to happen. I don't blow the account. I maybe go break even that month, and then the next month I get something good. But if you don't focus on capital protection, then you're always going to lose. You always have to protect your capital and be more excited, like be more surprised if you get profits rather than expecting it and feeling like you're entitled to it. That's the way I would go about it. Because trading will never get easier. Obviously you get better, so it feels easier, but, and I always like to say this to myself when I get disappointed in the market or whatever, I always say, soon I'll be trading 10x the lot size, or not the lot size, but the account size that I'm currently trading, and this trade wouldn't mean anything to me then. It's just a small amount of money. But if you just focus on where you are right now, you may be trading, I don't know, 10k, 100k, whatever, and in the future you may trade 10x the account size. So that loss, that $100 loss or that $1,000 loss would mean nothing to you at that point, or the gain either. Like you just think about that as nothing. But if you can't manage a small account, you can't manage a large account either. So just think to yourself that maybe the market or the universe wants to teach you something. If you feel like this is taking too long and you feel like there is no way to speed up the process, then maybe that's what's supposed to happen. Maybe you're not supposed to get those profits so quickly. Maybe that's not a good thing for you either. Maybe you need to be more patient and learn the lessons, because in earlier, not in today's modern age where you can make all this online money, the value was the skills and the character development you had to go through in order to get there. Not saying that's not true in trading. Obviously you have to go through a lot of character development in trading as well, but you just get this illusion of it's quick and easy money. It's just press buy and sell, and you can just reset the account. Then you don't learn anything and you just become cocky if you make money. But if you would go in and actually go through the character development and all of that stuff, that's the most valuable thing. Because if you don't get stronger and wiser and develop yourself mentally, physically, in all areas of life, then the more you age, the more you grow up, life is going to be more and more difficult. And if you think that money in itself is going to solve that, that's not true. Think about your mental health. Think about issues in your life that you can solve with money alone. You only solve that by character development. So money in itself isn't the goal. That's why when you're in drawdown on that account, it shouldn't mean anything to you. You should actually think about the pain you're currently feeling and thinking, this is what makes me grow. This is what I need, not to just get a 6-hour profit and feeling like you're on top of the world, because then you don't learn anything. So don't stress about that. We're all in this together, guys. You who are watching this, everyone, we're all in this stage together. And if you're still watching this, I want you to comment down below how trading is currently going for you, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I want to create a community where we share what we're going through, what we're feeling, the frustrations, the thoughts in our heads. And maybe you are in drawdown as well. Just comment down below, tell us what happened and what you're learning from this, and we'll grow stronger together. There is no reason to rush this journey. What I want to do, I want to create a community where we're standing strong together. Imagine 100 other people in the exact same situation as you, feeling frustrated, being in drawdown, feeling like this is taking forever. But if we're in this together, nothing can stop us. Let's go.